Hello, my name is James and I'm going to be talking to you about how to get a great looking lawn. I'm sure that you probably heard the old saying, the grass is always greener on the other side, but maybe with some helpful advice and some work, it doesn't have to be. I've been a homeowner for 24 years. The thing that has taken up a lot of my time is maintaining a healthy and great looking lawn. Most of what I've learned was through research and through trial and error. During this time, I've found out what always works, what sometimes works, and what does never work. Lawn care is important for many reasons and should not be overlooked. We will talk about 3 points. We will talk about proper watering, fertilizing and weed control, and the right way to mow your lawn. So let's begin with watering. Because lawn care is an important part of taking care of your home and water is important of growing grass, we will start with watering. First, how often should you water your lawn? A good general rule is to water 3 times per week, 20 minutes each time. This will apply about an inch of water to your soil. You will need to adjust your watering based on the climate. If you're having more rain than usual, you will not need to water near as often. And if you're having less rain, or you're going through a drought or a dry spell in the summer, you'll need to water a little more often. Although, do not water for longer. Keep it to 30 minutes, just do it every day instead of 3 times per week. The other thing about watering is what time to water your lawn, what time of day. You don't want to water in the middle of the day when the sun's heat is going to evaporate most of your water very quickly. And you don't want to water in the evenings or at nights because then your grass is not in the growing state and it's not going to soak that water in. So the best time is actually in the morning, usually between 4 and 6 a.m. before the sun comes up. If you live in a cooler climate and it is a cooler time of year, you could water any time in the morning. Now that we've talked about watering, let's talk about fertilizing and weed control. Now, in order to achieve the lawn that a homeowner can be proud of, it is necessary to weed and feed your lawn. First, fertilizer. Grass needs something to eat. It needs to eat, it needs nutrients. So you're going to need to fertilize at least 3 times per year. And when you do fertilize, you need to water your lawn, very thorough watering the day before or the 2 days before. Pick a good quality applicator, a spreader for the dry granules, or a good sprayer for the liquid fertilizer. The other thing is taking care of the weeds, because if you do not take care of the weeds, they will take over your grass. And they grow unevenly and they have different kind of leaves and they don't look very good. You can do 2 things, and you should do 2 things. You can spot spray, which means you just walk through your lawn, and if you see a weed, you spray it with the weed killer and take care of it that way. But you should also spray the entire lawn. You go over the entire lawn with a weed killer or a weed and feed, which is fertilizer and weed killer, at least 2 times per year, usually in the spring and then in the fall. And now that we've talked about watering and fertilizing and weed control, we can talk about mowing. So mowing is more important than people usually think. You think you just mow it whenever you feel like it, but you really should stick to a schedule, and there are a couple things to make sure you're doing it properly. First, you want to maintain the correct mowing height. You want to avoid cutting your grass too short. Scalping your lawn can make it susceptible to diseases and weeds. Also, never take off more than 1/3 of your lawn's height, which means if your lawn is 3 inches tall, only take off 1 inch. Pay attention to the mowing patterns. If you mow the same pattern every time, eventually you're going to wear that pattern into your lawn, and your mower tracks will actually flatten the grass in those spots, and you'll have either ruts or you'll be able to see these lines, and they'll wear into your grass and it'll wear down your grass in those spots. So change it up. You can go east to west, north and south, and then in diagonal patterns to avoid those wearing marks. Another thing about mowing is to keep your blades sharp. If you're mowing with dull blades, what it will actually do is it will tear the grass instead of a clean cut, and you will be able to notice this looking at your grass. So in conclusion, if you can do these things, lawn care is very important for many reasons and should not be overlooked. We have talked about the 3 most important points. We talked about watering, talked about fertilizer and weed control, and we talked about mowing. If you can remember these 3 main points and apply these steps properly, you will be on your way to the grass being greener on your side.